Markle, former actress, became a part of the royal family, but then chose to leave. Is there some secret behind why she left? Hey guys, it's The Rich Life. I'm your host, Michaela, and today we are talking about Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, originally known as Rachel Meghan Markle, was born on August 4th, 1981 in Los Angeles, California. Meghan Markle was born to parents Doria Ragland, her mother, who was an African-American former television studio intern who later became a social worker and yoga instructor, and Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, a lighting director. Meghan has often described having a very close relationship with her mother. Her parents met on the set of a soap opera, General Hospital. Meghan's parents divorced when she was 6 years old. She has two older half-siblings, Thomas Markle Jr. and Samantha Markle, from whom she is reportedly no longer close with. Despite her parents' divorce, both still remained active in her life. In 1995, she had an uncredited role in the sitcom Married with Children, for which her father served as director of lighting and photography. Meghan grew up in Hollywood and she was educated at private schools, beginning at the age of 2 at Hollywood Little Red Schoolhouse. Meghan went to Immaculate Heart High School, which was an all-girls Roman Catholic school. She then graduated from the school in 1999. Meghan had an interest in acting, so she decided to study theater and international studies at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. Meghan discussed her heritage in a 2015 essay for Elle. Meghan states that her dad is Caucasian and my mom is African American. I'm half black and half white, while my mixed heritage may have created a gray area surrounding my self-identification, keeping me with a foot on both sides of the fence. I've come to embrace that, to say who I am, to share where I'm from, to voice my pride in being a strong, confident mixed-race woman. Meghan then later returned to Los Angeles to pursue her acting career. She quickly began landing guest roles in TV shows including CSI NY, 90210, CSI Miami, and Fringe, and she supplemented her income working as a freelance calligrapher. Her big break came when she was cast as paralegal Rachel Zane in the popular USA Network legal drama series Suits. Meghan also played leading roles in movies such as Random Encounters and Antisocial. She also took on several contract acting and modeling jobs, including a stint as a briefcase girl on the US game show Deal or No Deal. She appeared in Fox's series Fringe as a junior agent Amy Jessup in the first 2 episodes of its second season. Meghan had some difficulty getting roles early in her career. In 2015, she said, quote, "Being ethnically ambiguous as I was pegged in the industry meant I could audition for virtually any role. Sadly, it didn't matter. I wasn't black enough for the black roles and I wasn't white enough for the white ones, leaving me somewhere in the middle as an ethnic chameleon who couldn't book a job." As an outspoken feminist, Meghan has addressed issues of gender inequality. In her lifestyle website, The Tig, it featured a column profiling influential women. In April 2017, she closed The Tig. Meghan developed a great and polished social media presence at the time of its closing. Her Instagram account had 1.9 million followers. In January 2018, Meghan deleted her social media accounts and in a statement issued by Kensington Palace, thanked everyone who has followed her social media accounts over the years. She opened up about her decision to leave social media and her fears concerning social media addiction. She said, quote, "I've made a personal choice to not have any account, so I don't know what's out there. And in many ways that's helpful for me. I have a lot of concerns for people that have become obsessed with it." Which, when you think about it, I mean, she's not wrong. Especially with this generation, we are always on our phones, and social media takes up majority of our time on our phone. Unless you're playing like Geometry Dash or something, because that takes up a lot of time too. Her humanitarian work in the 2010s saw her represent international charity organizations. At age 11, her successful campaign to get a company to change a national television commercial she viewed as sexist was profiled by Linda Ellerby on Nick News.
I think it's right for kids to grow up thinking these things, that just mom does everything.
She has also received recognition for her fashion and style and released a clothing line in 2016. Meghan had briefly been married in 2011 to producer Trevor Engelson, and then broke up in 2013. She was then introduced to Prince Harry by a mutual friend in 2016. Harry was the younger of the 2 sons of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have heard what happened to Princess Diana, but here are some theories on what happened. The most commonly reported conspiracy is that Diana and her lover Dottie were murdered by British secret agents from the overseas spy agency MI6 on the orders of the royal family. It's based on the claim that the couple were engaged to be married and that Diana was pregnant. Dottie's father argues that the royal family and the British establishment could not face the fact that Diana's 2 sons have a Muslim stepfather, and their very existence would be a millstone round the neck of the royals. There are many slightly varying theories on this central premises, such as that rogue MI6 agents carried out the termination without their handler's knowledge. They say she was fed up with the insistent press attention and intrusions into her private life, so Diana faked her passing. passing. To escape from the attention, she set up a spectacular crash with the help of Dottie and is now living in peace somewhere. There's even some theories that the crash was meant to be fake but went horribly wrong. Paul Burrell, one of Diana's former butlers, says the princess predicted her own passing in the car crash. Apparently, she was so scared 10 months before her passing, she wrote to Paul saying that there was a plot made by a member of the royal family and that her car's brakes would be tampered with and she would suffer serious head injuries. And all of this would be so that the Prince of Wales could marry again. These theories get even bigger because it's hard for some people to believe that the princess with all her wealth and bodyguards could pass away in a traffic accident, but this is just a theory. The tabloid press quickly discovered the relationship, and its coverage to the couple was seen by many as disgusting and often insulting and racist. Late in 2016, Harry made the relationship public while telling off the British press for its treatment of Meghan. Love a man that stands up for his girl. The couple's engagement was announced in November 2017, and Meghan moved to London. The wedding took place at Windsor Castle on May 19, 2018, and Meghan was given the title of Duchess of Sussex. Not long after, they announced they were expecting their first child together. In May 2019, Meghan gave birth to a son named Archie, who is 7th in line to the British throne. On November 14th, aka Valentine's Day, Meghan, who was 39 at the time, and Harry, who was 36 at the time, released a statement confirming that they were expecting their second child and shared a heartwarming image. The photo of the Santa Barbara, California-based couple was shot remotely on an iPad by one of their longtime friends who is based in London. In the shot, the Duchess is wearing a Carolina Herrera dress by Wes Gordon, which was designed for her while she was pregnant with her first child, Archie. The timing of the announcement was especially significant because on Valentine's Day in 1984, Princess Diana announced that she was expecting Harry. Meghan and Harry released an official statement on June 6, in which a spokesperson confirmed that Meghan gave birth to a baby girl who was born on Friday, June 4th, 2021 at 11:40 a.m. They also announced the meaningful baby name Meghan and Harry chose, which is Lilibet. In 2020, Meghan and Harry signed a 3-year podcasting deal with Spotify worth $18 million and a 5-year mega deal with Netflix. It was reported that the deal could be worth as much as $150 million, where they will create scripted content, documentaries, and children's programming. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's estimated net worth, including the equity from their Montecito home, is roughly around $10 million. After exiting the royal family, Meghan and her husband Harry signed an estimated $120 million worth of production deals, notably with companies Netflix and Spotify. They reportedly felt the need to sign the deals after being cut off financially from Harry's family back in England. After announcing their decision to step back from the royal duties, Harry and Meghan first spent some time in Canada before heading to Southern California, where they lived for several months at a home owned by Tyler Perry. In August 2020, it was revealed that Meghan and Harry had purchased a home in Montecito, California, which is near Santa Barbara, and it cost $14.7 million. So what do you guys think? Do you think Meghan and Harry made the right choice leaving, or should they stay?
Prince Harry is a member of the British royal family who has a net worth of £60 million. Harry is the son of Prince Philip and Princess Diana. Harry's paternal grandparents are Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. His brother Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, is the heir apparent to the throne when their father becomes king.
Prior to essentially leaving the royal family in 2020, the vast majority of Harry's £30 million personal net worth came thanks to a trust fund set up by his late mother Diana. Okay, sorry about this accent, guys. We know they're bad. When they both turned 25, William and Harry each inherited trusts worth £30 million each. William and Harry also received several millions of pounds when their great-grandmother died in 2002. When Diana and Charles divorced, he paid her a £24 million settlement. That's the same as around £40 million today, after adjusting the inflation. After her passing, the money was put into a trust for William and Harry to inherit on their respective 25th birthdays. By the time they were both 30, the trust had appreciated to the point that each son ended up inheriting £20 million.
Unfortunately for Harry, he did not have the benefit from a trust called from the Duchy of Cornwall that has made his father extremely wealthy and will eventually make William extremely wealthy. In 1337, King Edward III established a trust benefit to the heir apparent to the British throne. Today, the Duchy owns £1.3 billion in real estate, and that produces around £20 to £30 million in after-tax income after every year from the Crown Prince. As long as Queen Elizabeth is sitting at the throne, Harry's father Charles is the beneficiary of the income. When Charles becomes king, William will be the beneficiary. But leaving the royal family comes with a price. In 2020, Harry and Meghan signed a 3-year podcast deal with Spotify worth $18 million. Reported that the deal could be worth as much as $150 million, where they'll create scripted content, documentaries, and children programming. After exiting the royal family, Harry and his wife Meghan Markle signed an estimated deal worth $120 million for production deals with notable companies such as Netflix and Spotify. Harry also signed on to produce a series for Apple TV with Oprah Winfrey about mental health. They reportedly felt the need to sign the deals after being cut off financially from his family back in in England. In his former life, Harry's father paid around $4 million per year to provide staffing for security for his son. He left the royal family because he didn't want to do any boring royalty duties and enjoyed partying and dating baddies, and I mean, I don't blame him.
Meghan Markle is now the Royal Duchess of Sussex, but before that she was an actress, most known for her role as Rachel on the TV show Suits. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, originally known as Rachel Meghan Markle, was born on August 4th, 1981 in Los Angeles, California. Meghan Markle was born to parents Doria Ragland, her mother who was an African-American former television studio intern who later became a social worker and yoga instructor, and Meghan's father Thomas Markle, a lighting director. Meghan has often described having a very close relationship with her mother. Her parents met on the set of a soap opera, General Hospital. Meghan's parents divorced when she was 6 years old. She has two older half-siblings, Thomas Markle Jr. and Samantha Markle, from whom she is reportedly no longer close with. Despite her parents' divorce, both still remained active in her life. In 1995, she had an uncredited role in the sitcom Married with Children, for which her father served as director of lighting and photography. Meghan grew up in Hollywood and she was educated at private schools, beginning at the age of 2 at Hollywood Little Red Schoolhouse. Meghan went to Immaculate Heart High School, which was an all-girls Roman Catholic school. She then graduated from the school in 1999. Meghan had an interest in acting, so she decided to study theater and international studies at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. Meghan discussed her heritage in a 2015 essay for Elle. Meghan states that her dad is Caucasian and my mom is African American. I'm half black and half white, while my mixed heritage may have created a gray area surrounding my self-identification, keeping me with a foot on both sides of the fence. I've come to embrace that, to say who I am, to share where I'm from, to voice my pride in being a strong, confident mixed-race woman. Meghan then later returned to Los Angeles to pursue her acting career. Prince Harry married Meghan Markle in 2018, not long after they announced they were expecting their first child together. In May 2019, Meghan gave birth to a son named Archie, who is 7th in line to the British throne.
But they also just had a daughter and her name is something weird we'll show you later.
But before Meghan, he was in a couple relationships. Harry had 2 serious girlfriends in his 20s and 30s before meeting Meghan. From 2004 to 2010, he had an on and off relationship with Chelsea Davy, whom he had a turbulent relationship with, but still invited her to his wedding. And from 2012 to 2014, Harry dated socialite and actor Cressida Bonas, who's known for various television roles and theatrical plays, whom he met through his cousin Princess Eugenie.
But before all that, he was born Harry Charles Albert David, born in 1984 in Paddington, London, UK. Members of the royal family don't have last names. Prince Harry's mother and father separated in 1992. Their divorce wasn't finalized until 1996. Tragically, Princess Diana was, something happened to her in a car crash in Paris, but we don't know about that.
However, there are other theories on what happened. The most commonly reported conspiracy is that Diana and her lover Dottie were murdered by British secret agents from the overseas spy agency MI6 on the orders of the royal family. It's based on the claim that the couple were engaged to be married and that Diana was pregnant. Dottie's father argues that the royal family and the British establishment could not face the fact that Diana's 2 sons have a Muslim stepfather, and their very existence would be a millstone around the neck of the royals. There are many slightly varying theories based on the central premise, such as that rogue MI6 agents carried out the termination without their handler's knowledge. They say she was fed up with the insistent press attention and intrusions into her private life, so Diana faked her passing. To escape from the attention, she set up a spectacular crash with the help of Dottie and is now living in peace somewhere. There's even a theory that the crash was meant to be fake but went horribly wrong. Paul Burrell, one of Diana's former butlers, says that the princess predicted her own passing in the car crash. Apparently, she was so scared 10 months before her passing, she wrote to Paul saying that there was a plot made by a member of the royal family and that her car's brakes would be tampered with and she would suffer serious head injuries. And all of this would be so that the Prince of Wales could marry again. These theories get even bigger because it's hard for some people to believe that the princess with all her wealth and bodyguards could pass away in a traffic accident, but this is just a theory.
A theory. So Prince William was 15, Prince Harry was 12. Now, at the time, they've been in many places. They've traveled to South Africa with the father and met Nelson Mandela and watched the Spice Girls perform. After Prince Harry left, he spent a gap year in Australia, Argentina, and Africa working with a number of different charities. In 2006, Prince Harry set up his own charity called the Senebel with Prince Sizio the Lesotho in Africa. The charity helps vulnerable children in Lesotho. Though Prince Harry has had a short share of negative attention in the media, he redeemed himself in 2005 when he entered into the Royal Military Academy. He joined the Alamein Company and completed officer training to be commissioned as the 2nd Lieutenant in the Blues and Royals, a regiment of the Household Cavalry in the British Army. In 2008, he was promoted to lieutenant. The prince was deployed to Iraq in 2007. Harry would not serve in Iraq, however, as the head of the British Army at the time, General Sir Richard Dannett feared that he would be a high-dollar target. In his military role, Prince Harry went as Lieutenant Harry Wales. Now we're gonna fast forward a bit. Let's talk about some of their real estate. So after announcing that their decision to step down from the royal duties, Harry Harry and Meghan spent some time in Canada before leaping to Southern California, where they lived for several months at a home owned by Tyler Perry. In August 2020, it was revealed that Harry and Meghan had purchased a home in Montecito, California, near Santa Barbara for about $14.7 million. Now, this is the thing. I really want to know what you think about this whole Princess Diana thing. Do you think it was set up, or do you think it was an actual car crash? Let us know in the comments below, because we are just dying to know.
Did the Queen pass away? The Queen's doctors are very concerned for her health, as she is 96 and some say she is nearing her end. So I'm gonna walk you through her whole life timeline. This is The Rich Life, and I'm your host Michaela, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to help us get to 100,000. But without further ado, let's get started. Princess Elizabeth Alexandra May Windsor was born on April 21st, 1926 at 2:40 a.m. at her parents' home on 17 Burton Street, Mayfair, London. She's the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York, who later became King George VI and Queen Elizabeth. Elizabeth's early years were spent between Piccadilly in London and at White Lodge in Richmond Park. When Her Majesty was 7 years old, her father King George VI brought home Dookie, a Pembrokeshire Welsh Corgi. She immediately fell in love with the breed and is believed to have owned at least 30 corgis since then. On December 11th, 1936, Elizabeth's father became king when his older brother, King Edward VIII, stepped down. Elizabeth made her first public engagement on her 16th birthday in 1942 by inspecting the soldiers of the Grenadier Guards. Elizabeth, then aged 21, married Philip Mountbatten in Westminster Abbey on November 20th in 1947. Elizabeth gave birth to her first child, Prince Charles, at Buckingham Palace on November 14th, 1948, and Prince Charles then became first in line to the throne. The Queen then gave birth to her second child, Princess Anne, who was born in Clarence House on August 15th, 1950. Following the passing of her father in 1952, Elizabeth's coronation took place in Westminster Abbey in 1953. She was crowned Queen Elizabeth II at age 27 on June 2nd that year. Her third child, Prince Andrew, was then born at Buckingham Palace on February 19th in 1960. At the age of 37, Queen Elizabeth gave birth to her fourth and final child, Prince Edward, at Buckingham Palace on March 10th, 1964. In 1970, during a royal tour of Australia and New Zealand, Queen Elizabeth rebelled against centuries of royal tradition when she took a casual stroll to greet crowds of people in person rather than wave to them from a protected distance. A walkabout is now a regular practice for British royals. On June 2nd, 1977, the Queen's 25 years on the throne was celebrated with Commonwealth visits and a public holiday. Then on June 21st, 1982, Prince William was born to Prince Charles and Diana, Princess of Wales. Although William is the Queen's third grandchild, the line of the succession means that he's second in line to the throne after his father. On August 31st, 1997, the Queen's daughter-in-law Diana, Princess of Wales, passed from the injuries she sustained in a car crash in Paris. Tensions between the royal family and Diana were already tense following her controversial interview with Martin Bashar, and so the Queen was under close security following her passing. The Queen's speech about Diana's passing was broadcasted live on September 5th. We all have felt those emotions in the last few days. So what I say to you now, as your Queen and as a grandmother, I say from the heart, I want to pay tribute to Diana, myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being, in good times and bad. She never lost her capacity to smile and laugh, to inspire others with her warmth and kindness. I admire and respected her for her energy and commitment to others, especially for her devotion to her two boys. The Queen's younger sister Margaret later passed in 2002 from complications from a stroke. The Queen's mother also passed just over a month later on March 30th. On September 9th, 2015, the Queen became the longest reigning monarch in British history, more than 63 years, surpassing her great-grandmother Queen Victoria. In 2016, Queen Elizabeth celebrated her 90th birthday, and the milestone was marked by a national service of Thanksgiving and a street party of 10,000 people along the mall hosted by the Queen herself. In 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle then announced their intention to step away from the royal duties. Their decision to step back from the roles came as a shock to everyone, including the Queen, who was said to be hurt by the choice. On April 5th of the same year, Queen Elizabeth delivered a special broadcast in relation to the pandemic. In a rare speech, she acknowledged the grief and financial hardships Britons faced during the outbreak. On March 7, 2021, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle did a tell-all interview with Oprah Winfrey in the United States, and the following day in the UK it was aired. The couple didn't hold back as they lifted the lid on the life inside the royal family. The royals faced allegations of racism after Harry and Meghan claimed an unnamed member of the family made a comment about how dark their son Archie's skin tone would be. A source told The Sun that the Queen was sad, not angry about the interview. On April 9th last year, the Queen's loving husband of 73 years, Prince Philip, passed at age 99 a few months before his 100th birthday. A statement from Buckingham Palace read, "It is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty the Queen has announced the death of her beloved husband. His Royal Highness passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle. 30 guests, including the Queen, attended Prince Philip's funeral in St. George Chapel, and the Queen sat alone. The nation held a minute's silence at 3 p.m. to remember him. The royal family was reunited with Prince Harry for the first time since his interview with Oprah. Harry and William were originally expected to walk shoulder to shoulder, but they were separated by their cousin Peter Phillips. Then on October 19, 2021, the Queen hosted a major global investment summit at Windsor Castle ahead of the UN Climate Change Conference. Her Majesty Majesty called on nations to work together to beat climate change, saying it was the greatest challenge facing the world. The next day, Queen Elizabeth had to cancel a trip to Northern Ireland at the last minute following advice from her doctors who told her to rest for a few days. A Buckingham Palace spokesperson said, "Her Majesty is in good spirits and is disappointed that she will no longer be able to visit Northern Ireland, where she had been due to undertake a series of engagements today and tomorrow. The Queen sends her warmest good wishes to the people of Northern Ireland and looks forward to visiting in the future." The Queen was then said to be in good spirits when she left on the morning of October 21st. At the end of that year, the Queen spoke warmly about Prince Philip on her first Christmas without him in 7 decades, saying there was one familiar laugh missing in her home. On the eve of her historic jubilee, the Queen released a message to the public thanking them and also stating her intentions for the future of the crown on February 5th this year. She said in a written message, "I would like to express my thanks to you all for your support. I remain eternally grateful for and humbled by the loyalty and affection that you continue to give me. And when, in fullness of time, my son Charles becomes king, I know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support that you have given me. And it is my sincerest wish that when that time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service." Later on March 6th, Her Majesty decided to leave Buckingham Palace for good and make a permanent move to Windsor Castle. Sources say the Queen enjoyed life with Prince Philip there during the pandemic, and the couple rediscovered the happiness of their early years together during this time. On March 29th, at the memorial of Prince Philip, the Queen showed public support for disgraced son Prince Andrew. It was the first time the Duke of York had appeared alongside the Queen since he settled his US intimate abuse case, paying accuser Virginia Roberts a reported $12 million. And part of the plea deal was the agreement that no formal admission of liability or an apology was owed by the Duke of York. On April 14th, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle visited the Queen in secret before going to the Invictus Games. It marked the first time all three were together since 2020. Her Majesty then marked her 96th birthday at Wood Farm. She celebrated her birthday privately in the wake of her health issues over the previous months. The Queen, of course, has a huge net worth of $530 million and also reportedly gets money from a private estate called the Duchy of Lancaster, which is passed down from monarch to monarch. She also supposedly spends $345 million a year on security. But with all this said, the Queen has recently not been doing very well. She's recently under medical supervision at her Balmoral estate after doctors became concerned for her health. Buckingham Palace says that members of the royal family are now traveling to Scotland to be with the 96-year-old amid health fears. Following further evaluation this morning, the Queen's doctors are concerned for Her Majesty's health and have recommended she remain under medical supervision, reads the statement from Buckingham Palace. The Queen remains comfortable and at Balmoral. The news of the health concerns came after Elizabeth postponed a meeting of senior governmental advisors on Wednesday night, when doctors advised her to rest. Buckingham Palace has cancelled Friday's changing of the guard ceremony amid health fears. Large crowds began to gather in front of the palace after word of the Queen's conditions was made public. The Queen has been largely out of the public eye recently, suffering from mobility issues. She marched 7 decades on the throne this year and has increasingly handed over duties to her heir Charles. Elizabeth skipped a church service honoring her 70 years on the throne in June after experiencing some discomfort. Photos of her in a meeting were released to the public with alarm immediately raised by what appeared to be dark blue bruises on the Queen's right hand or possible decaying. But that is all. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.